What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be diving back on into Spellcaster University. If you've never seen this game before, it's effectively a game where you build and manage your own Hogwarts, teaching kids how to use magic and fend off the Dark Lord. Ultimately, the game has kind of like a cyclical repetition to it, where you build a school, the Dark Lord invades, you probably lose, and then you build another school, and the same thing repeats until you're finally strong enough to square off. I don't know if the actual final confrontation is in the early access as of right now, but it's been about a year and a half since we covered the game last time, so I figure we'd check on in and see if there's anything that's changed, what's moved around. I'll introduce you to the game. I put about 10 hours into it, which is always like a good sign when I actually feel drawn to play like one of the games that I cover on the channel outside of my normal working hours. And so that's what we'll do. If you want to get this game or wish listed after I do this video, you can check it out down below in the description. I'll have a link for you down there so you can do just that. And then, of course, there will be a link to my social media channels and also to my Discord down there, just in case you wanted to get a little bit more touchy-feely with ya boy. So anyways, let's dive on into a new campaign. We're going to leave everything exactly where it's at, and we're going to say, okay. And then we've got to do our glorious coat of arms. We've got to decide what kind of school we want to be. So let me tool around with this for a minute, and I'll come back with something workable. All right, so we are now officially Crumraven's Reformative School of Conjuration. And our glorious coat of arms has already been decided. I feel like this has like a nice sort of War of the Roses feel to it. So that's what I decided to go with. The next thing we're going to need to do is we got to pick a tile that we want to start out on. This will change. The map does open up. So I think there's about 8 or 9 maps that I've seen so far when I was doing my long playthrough kind of research on the game. And every single map has kind of like a different side event. So every map basically has 2 attributes. It has its special event, which is you dealing with some outside force that's getting in the way of you building your school. And then there's also going to be the building space of that map. So for example, with the lake, it takes longer for the students to get there, but you can make friends with the creature of the lake. It has like its own personal Nessie, but it doesn't have a lot of building space. The village over here, the students on average are richer, which means that we make more money by bringing people on in, because after all, this is a private school. The famous local minstrel might cause trouble, or you can make friends with him, and then there's a large buildable area. We have the forest, which means that our students are more likely to be poor. More of them are werewolves. An ancient troll is causing trouble, and then it has a large buildable area. As you complete these maps and you survive and thrive, more of them will open up that are a little bit different. There's a desert over here. You can make a castle on the clouds. You can live inside the volcano. There's a bunch of them. There's one on the coastline where you gotta fight pirates. Like, it just kind of, it opens up over time, and I've already said that. So let's go on into the village. That sounds good. This is probably what most people are gonna pick anyways, right at the outset. So here we are at the beginning of our school. The farmlands near the kingdom's large cities will be perfect for setting up a school. The local farmers might cause some issues, but peasants are always complaining anyways. So we get to decide on what we want to do here. So if we can tell them to keep complaining because we don't know how to handle them, we can get ourselves a pig chamber and a village banner. That's going to allow us to work on our reputation a lot faster with all these various factions. We can say we're here to teach magic, not solve crises, which means that we'll get a couple of learning rooms very, very quickly. And then we can also have peasants will stop complaining when they see the wonders of magic, and that's going to give us a runestone and an observatory, which are both kind of like support items. We'll go ahead with this one right here because it gives us options at the beginning of the game. This game does have push pause, so you can pause it at any time. Over on the right, you've got your time controls. You've got your 6 magic school decks right here. When you have a certain amount of mana or resources, you can click on these. It'll give you a new card from that school. You get to decide what you want to go through. But the first thing we need to do is we need to decide on a prevailing strategy for what our school is going to be trying to do, and that involves houses. So what I normally like to do is when you make a house, they're going to come with various stats that are just intrinsically given to anyone that joins that house. So for right now, for this school right here, we've got to decide on a feature. We've got beautiful, which means they lose sanity less quickly. We've got passionate, which means they can get the final level of magic much quicker than everybody else. We're going to take that. And then we've got steadfast, which means they lose less sanity. We have athletic over here that makes them move around faster for our second. We have alchemy apprentice, which makes them learn alchemy faster. And we have popular. I'm going to go with alchemy apprentice because we have the alchemy room already. And so that kind of lines us up for good stuff. Let me go ahead and name this thing, and then we'll get on to the next house. Another important thing is that we can decide what people in this school will actively go out and learn. What you're hoping for is that with one of these schools right here, one of these like houses, you'll actually get 2 of these that are like Child of Nature, Child of the Light, because that means that they're good at multiple school things, and then if they pick up a 3rd one, they'll lose things very, very fast, and there's a much better chance that they'll become an archmagus, which is like a really big deal for your school. It actually helps out a lot. But in this case, we've only got 1, so like I think I'm going to restrict them to alchemy, and I think I'll restrict them to arcana. So these guys are going to be battle mages, and they're going to be transmutation specialists. I've already got their flag set up, so now we just need a good name for them. We'll name this house Elder Flask. That sounds good. And then we pick the school color. It's going to be gray to go along with like their little tabard right here. And so that's our first house taken care of. And then our second house, what did we get? We got chosen by the light on this one. Okay, so they're going to be like the goody two-shoes people. All right, so we're going to go with, let's see, we'll go with popular. That means we get double prestige when they graduate from school. Every single student that graduates from school goes and get a job, and based on what job they get, it'll give you permanent bonuses that persist throughout your different schools that you're building back to back to back. It'll be things like percentage increases to the prestige you gain over the course of your career. It'll give you higher mana counts from various schools of magic. It'll make your rooms more effective. I mean, it's really anything and everything. Since these guys are going to be chosen of the light, we'll go ahead and do that right there. And so we've got light, we've got arcana, and we've got alchemy. That doesn't give us a lot to start with at the beginning of the game, but it's going to have to be good enough. Alright, so this will be House Sunsworn, I guess. That'll work out perfectly fine. We got their colors set up. We've got them set up for light magic. Let's see if we can make this work. So at the beginning of the game, there's a couple things that we want to place. We need the refectory. That's where everybody's going to be eating in order to get their hunger stat down. We're going to need the student hall, and we're going to need the dormitory. So they sleep inside the dorm. So there we go. And then for the student hall, they can go inside of here and they can get rid of their boredom. So already we have the 3 main stats taken care of: tiredness, hunger, and boredom. So that's good. Now we need to get ourselves, we don't need the shadow room just yet, so I'm not going to put it down. We do have an alchemy room, though. So I'm going to place the alchemy room real fast, and we're going to have to decide on a teacher that's going to run that department. You can take a look at their various stats and things that they do, but really what you want to look at is their pedagogy. So, like, they've got an alignment, they've got how good they are at pedagogy, they've got whether they're unionized or not. Basically what this does is characters and students that have the exact same alignment, or at least a somewhat similar alignment, like other neutral students will learn like twice as fast from this teacher, but like one grouping, let's see here, the needs of neutral students. Actually, neutral's actually pretty good. We don't get a downside for neutral. When you have a good character, it means that bad students do worse with a good teacher and vice versa. So anyways, neutral, it just seems like we get kind of a benefit there, but his pedagogy is bad. That's how fast he teaches. That gives a flat multiplier to how fast the students learn. He's got appropriate pedagogy, and so I think we'll probably go with him regardless. Unionization determines how much they get paid, and so if they are unionized, their wage tends to be quite a bit higher than the non-unionized teachers. This guy is the winner for right now, so there's our alchemy department. We need to bring in some students. And, like, honestly, most of them are going to be going into Elder Flask because we don't have the rooms to support any of the other stuff. We'll go into detail to recruiting students once we've got a little bit more to work with, and I can kind of, like, explain how the game works a little bit better. For right now, we just need to get asses in seats and get cooking. So let's go ahead and we will get our standard deck rolling. We paid 100 gold, and now we get to pick a room. We've got a hunting trophy, a teacher's lounge, and a psychologist. I'll go with the teacher's lounge, I guess. I don't really want the teacher's lounge, but I'll go with it. We'll go with another card right here. We've got the dormitory, we've got the alchemy room, and we've got the light room. Good. The light room is exactly what we need. So now both of our houses are able at least to learn some magic. The light room will allow them to learn all 3 schools of light magic, albeit at a very slow rate. Over here we have a chaotic good teacher, Kent Coflowers. He's got ancient wisdom. That means he teaches faster. He's got decent pedagogy, at least no negatives there. I think that inspiring and relaxed is probably a little bit better. Well, relaxed makes them learn slower. We'll go with this guy right here. We also get reputation when he teaches with the Adventurers Guild, so that's good because he's an ex-adventurer. All right, So in come all of our new students that I just haphazardly dumped up into that spot. And you can see them kind of moving around and doing their thing. They'll explore, they'll get settled, and then they'll start going to class. We have a few more recruits over here. So what you want to watch out for when you're recruiting people for your school is you want to look at their alignment. You want to look at how smart they are, because that's going to boost their learning rate. You will never get an archmagus out of like somebody who's dumb. It's just not going to happen because they don't have time. They're only here for a certain amount of years, and they don't have time to learn a large amount about every single school of magic. So the schools of magic are, you've got nature, which has beast magic, herbalism, and druidism. You've got light magic, which has heroism, sacred magic, and retribution. You have arcana, which is going to have elementalism, portal magic, and temporal magic. You've got darkness over here, shadow, which is demonology, necromancy, and assassination. And then you've also got kind of like I guess the abjuration schools or whatever over here, where you've got like runes, you've got potions, and you've got enchantments. So anyways, in order for them to become an archmagus, which is really what you're shooting for consistently, they have to have like a couple levels in literally like everything. Like, not every single not every single one of these little tiny, like, sub-schools, but they need to have at least, like, 5 or 6 levels in every single category, otherwise they're not going to make it. Wealth determines how much you get paid for them being here. Basically, parents will pay you a stipend or, like, tips based on how wealthy they are. So you do want to prioritize rich students over poor students if you can, but at the same time, there can be benefits to having poor students from time to time, too. They all have different stats that are going to change how fast they lose hunger, how fast they gain all these little stats over here, whether or not they kind of bother other students and keep them from getting their work done. This person has chatty. I tend to avoid chatty entirely. This guy's allergic to crustaceans and can't learn alchemy. He's popular, smart, and wealthy. We could probably put them in Sunsworn. This person is smart, is a worker, which is one of the most important stats. This right here gives you 10% learning boost. It's really, really good. This person misbehaves a lot, but moves around frequently. Okay, we'll put them in the alchemy school. We've got jack of all trades and courageous over here. We'll put you inside of the general class, I guess. In general, don't use the general class. You want to replace this with a custom-made general class where everything is enabled, but they get like 2 boosts to 2 different schools. And you can use it as kind of like your, cram them all in school. Your cram them on in-house, and then for more specialized people. But I haven't had the cards yet to replace this. So we will at some point. That person's chatty. This person is an ugly, ambitious gourmet. Ambitious means they have a better chance of getting a better job when they get out of school to bring more prestige to the school. This girl's an alchemy apprentice. That's good. We'll throw them in right there. It does stack, by the way. You can have alchemy apprentice ×2, which is really, really nice. A new school for my kingdom. How great. So very great. I would very much like to help, for I am a fair and generous king. What do you require? We can either get some money right now, or we can get an advanced room right now. I'm going to take the advanced room. So we've got an enchantment workshop. That's good. I like that. We'll go with, we can either take that or the Chamber of Truth, actually. Both of these benefit us. I'll go with the enchantment workshop because I think that's what we're going to focus on. And we will put the enchantment workshop like right there. We got to pick a teacher. This person has mediocre pedagogy, which kind of sucks. This person has bad pedagogy. So we'll go ahead and just pick the one with the better pedagogy between the two. That tends to be how I choose. I found a window between 2 troll massacres to come and say hi. The opening of the new magic school is always good news for the Adventurers Guild. What kind of mages do you make? We make mages that blow things up. And that gave us access to an elementalist dojo. Very nice. So now we can teach a little bit of combat magic. We can teach a little bit of alchemy. It's looking pretty good. This person has good pedagogy, but they get paid 130% more than all the other teachers. We got to watch out for our gold here. That's going to get expensive, but we know that we're getting quality teaching over here, so I'm going to make that sacrifice. I'm not going to spend much more gold. This right here is our guinea pig. Once every X amount of time. I don't know exactly what the timing is, but you can increase it or decrease it. You can send out a guinea corn. It's like a unicorn guinea pig hybrid to go talk to one of the neighboring factions, and you can raise or you can lower your reputation with them, ask for favors, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go to the Royal Bastion, and I'm going to contact the king, and I'm going to raise our reputation with him because he'll give us money in exchange for reputation, and I've got a feeling we're going to have money problems as we grow, and so I think it's a good idea to start doing that. As you can see, our students are beginning to learn. You can click on any one of them if you desire to do so, and you can see what their progress looks like. As you can see, they're learning all 3 sub-schools of their School of Magic right now. We've got a bunch of events. Hi there, we're from around here. We don't like trouble, and we're not fond of strangers. What are you doing exactly? We teach sacred magic? Yeah, we do sacred magic over here with the rules and concordats of the Church of Light. And then we've also got the minstrel. Greetings, mage. I am the minstrel, but I'm sure you've heard of me before. Ooh, the minstrel, he's so handsome. Tonight we're all going to see him sing at the tavern. The minstrel is distracting your students and they can't work properly. Go see him on the local map and take care of the problem. Okay, so everybody's learning 15% slower right now. We're hungry. The human will find us something to eat, otherwise we will eat the human and the small humans that live in the human house. We'll also eat the house that the human and small humans live in, and probably the human's pets too, with herbs and aromatics. I don't have anything for him, so unfortunately I can pawn him off and have him raid the village in the kingdom, but I'll just take the faction hit for right now. We've got new incoming students. I'll probably put you in Elder Flask. He's a Shadow Disciple. Yeah, we'll put you in general class, I guess. We've got a diligent, unbreakable, wealthy, lawful good. We'll put you inside Sunsworn. That sounds good. This person's got worker, so we'll go ahead and put them in the general class. We've got steadfast over here, allergic to pollen, so they can't learn nature magic very well. That's fine. It'll work. I guess I could deploy the shadow room, but I'm a little bit worried about my finances. Now, what you'll notice is as they go to these classes, students generate mana that's just latent, and from that mana you can conjure new rooms. So they'll be giving us Arcana mana while they're inside of here. They'll be giving us Alchemy mana in here while they're inside light rooms. They'll give us light mana. I clicked on my light deck, and it's given us a couple options here. We have a white dragon that makes everybody that passes the dragon learn light magic faster. We've got the trophy case. I don't really use that item, but basically, it's a room that just like has items inside of it that buff the neighboring adjacent rooms. It's hard to get the trophy case to line up the way you want it to, though, so I don't tend to use it. We've got the Sacred Halo. This is a mod on our students. If they get to level 3 Sacred Magic, their hunger grows 75% slower. I'll probably take the White Dragon for right now, and we'll put that right there. It's not like a huge boost, but like it's something. We've got enough mana for an Arcana room, so we can get a interdimensional room. That's good, because it'll teach us portal magic. So we'll put that right there. And it doesn't require a teacher, so that's even better. The downside to this room is that when they go into like this weird MC Escher area, they lose sanity, but they learn Arcana really, really fast. We've got another alchemy card we can pull. We've got component supply. What this does is anytime somebody's active in a room with a component supply, it has a chance to give you a component card. You can throw that into the cauldron and it'll make potions that'll give you mana or gold or clean up the place or open a portal to the nether realms. Just random stuff. We've got an infirmary. That's a really, really good room. It allows us to heal people and get rid of their magical aberrations. Aberrations happen from time to time. It's stuff like growing mushrooms out of your ears. Your head turns into a pumpkin. Your leg turns into a log. All that kind of stuff. We have a ritual orc painting over here that increases our chance to get half-orc students. I'll probably go with the component supply, I guess. I don't really have a place for it, but we have a small problem. Our cows no longer give birth, which is going to be a huge problem for all farmers. We need you to make us a fertility potion. As I'm told it's called. Can you? Oh, weak, dude. I had alchemy just a second ago, and we could have solved that. I don't have anything for you, pal. Sorry. 4 more students. We've got a beautiful, shifty, voracious character. Nah, we got Jack of all trades, Child of Nature. We'll put you into general class. We've got Child of Nature and also Shadow Disciple. Put you into general class, Shadow Disciple over here, general class. All right, let's put down the Shadow Room. I think we need to. So we'll put we got enough people that are good at shadow magic now that I kind of feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't place it. We've got a few characters here. Mediocre, mediocre, inspiring, relaxed. We'll go with this guy right here because he's not unionized and he saves us money. And I'm not trying to be poor right now. We have another Arcana card. Temporal Room. Very nice. So we've got the big 3 right now for our Arcana. We've got the Dojo, we've got the Temporal Room, and we've got the weird portal room or whatever. We need another teacher. So this guy has appropriate pedagogy. He's not unionized. He's a poser, which means he makes people bored, but he's got corpore sano. Okay. We'll go with John Kilver, I think. Relaxed makes people learn slower, and I always try to avoid relaxed. She's got a double whammy. She's got relaxed and she's got chatty, which means that she's slowing down student learning by like 30%. We can't have that. If you want to have good, high-quality graduates, you got to avoid recruits like that. Otherwise, it's going to backfire on you eventually. Now we just let her ride. They're in here learning a little bit of light magic. It looks like that's all going up. We haven't got any of the room decorations yet, but we can send out a guinea corn one more time. We'll go to the theater, and then, my favorite admirer. Would you like an autograph? Let's see here. The tavern is now closed. We have to have 2 prisons and an orc hound. Or we can have a righteous cloister and a reliquary. All right, well, make me more famous. Prestige determines how many students you get whenever you get this little student pop-up. It's pretty much all that it does as far as I can tell. We're hungry. Man, these guys we're going to be in really bad shape with the orcs. The orcs are not going to be fans of us. We need to train up some combat magic so that we can kill them. Student applications, 3 more. We got Alchemy Apprentice over here, so they can go into Elder Flask, Shadow Disciple, and Athletic. You can go into General Class. Child of Nature, Light Sleeper, you go into General Class. I need to get some new house cards. We got the light deck over here, though, so that's good. A weapon rack. Active students in this room will improve their assassination and retribution skills. Sounds good. We'll put that inside of our light training room. That way they're getting a bonus, because they're already learning retribution inside of here, so we might as well boost up the retribution a little bit with that add-on. We've got another Arcana. We've got a Door Between Worlds. Students working inside of here learn portal and enchantment magic faster for a few minutes. It's either that or we could take an Elementalist Dojo. You can upgrade these rooms, so if you get a repeat card, you can upgrade all of these rooms up to 10 times, which makes them all the way from 0% to 100% more effective at teaching. So it really comes down to what you want to do. I'll probably do that with the Elementalist Dojo, and as you can see, it upgraded. It's got a levitating stone now. It's got a little backboard. Let's see here. We orcs don't need much, but what we need, we take from humans. On the other hand, you could give us things directly so that we don't have to kill you first. Either way, everybody wins. All right, well, I will give them my alchemy mana to get a 35 rep with them, because our rep is pretty bad right now. Yeah, I was going to say, our rep is rapidly approaching minus 100, which means they are going to attack us pretty mercilessly. Courageous Worker. Let's put you in Elder Flask. Orphan Unbreakable. This person's brilliant. She goes into the General Class. Worker and Child of Nature, you go into General Class. All right, so we got a little bit of cash left. It looks like we're net positive. Looks like we're losing about 61 right there every single time we pay our wages. You can see kids are around learning and doing what they do over here. It doesn't look like we have anybody that's particularly good at anything just yet. I'm going to spend the money to see if I can get something new. So we can get another dormitory, or we can upgrade our dormitory. We can get a private bedroom, or we can get a private apartment for our teacher. I'm going to get the dormitory upgrade, so I'll drag that over to there. And as you can see, we added curtains. Over time, if you click on these rooms, you can actually trade 10% of your efficiency to get like these little upgrades down here that will make the room kind of perform differently if you need it to do so. I need to send out a guinea corn to the Royal Bastion, and let's keep our meetings with the king going. Every respectable school needs a special magic discipline. It is crucial if we want to be recognized internationally. Well, we will be known for Arcana, since that's already what we're generating really, really fast. Greetings, humans. Our clans need sorcerers to help fight the king's forces, so I wondered if you would help. We're real nice folks, you know, and if you gain the trust of the orc clans and improve your relationship with us to like 90%, it'd be really, really cool. What do you say, friends? Sure, why not, dude? Why not? Let's be friends with the orcs. This guy's ambitious, but he's a coward. Okay, we'll put you in right there. You're unbreakable and passionate. We'll put you in Sunsworn. We haven't really put a lot of people into Sunsworn yet. It does look like we're net gaining gold, so that means I can spend on general purpose cards a little faster. We've got a large hourglass. That's a really nice upgrade for this room right here. So while they're working on their kind of portal magic, they'll also be working on their time magic at the same time. So you're getting a double whammy inside of that room. A better chance for them to level up all the way. You can micromanage in this game, so you've got this entire menu right here. You can change around these houses whenever you want. You can also move students around whenever you want. So if you find that there's somebody over here that's already maxed out all of their skills and the 2 skills that they're in, it might be helpful if you're pushing for archmagus to put them into the general class so that they'll start attending other classes and sort of developing their education. It's not really necessary. I've gotten tons of archmaguses by just making a general class that has a bonus to like 2 schools, and then sometimes you get that awesome student that has another 2 bonuses to 2 other schools, and so they'll be good at like 4 out of the 5 magic types, and then they'll also be brilliant, and basically that person's like an archmagus overnight. Like, they'll take care of it. But anyways, I just wanted to show off some of the management menus and things too, so that you know that they exist. We have chosen to tolerate your Impious Sorcerers University, but it doesn't incur compensation. We have come to collect the tithe, which will fund our team of mage hunters. Ironic, right? Not really. I guess I'll give him the $100. I don't really want to, but Child of Nature. We don't have any nature magic just yet, so I don't think that's really going to matter. We'll put you in Sunsworn for now. I mean, we're not utilizing your bonus, but that's life. Sometimes things don't go the way you want them to. We have a Hero's Chapel over here. That's really good because I want to teach heroism magic, so there we go. We have 2 teachers with good pedagogy. She's got relaxed and chatty, so we'll go with this lady. I don't even care what she has. I can't take like a minus 40% to any of my learning. I'll put the component shelf inside of there so that we start getting potion pieces. We got another alchemy card. We can get a rune scriptorum. I think that's a good idea. Let's get the rune scriptorum. We'll throw that in right there. And now we're probably going to be ending up with a little bit of cash drain. We're paying a lot of wages right now. The school is growing very, very rapidly. Luckily, this room right here, we're getting like mad profit and also like lots of gains out of this room right here. Oh, this person's dumb. I was like, why is he learning so slow? Because he's an idiot. We're hungry. Man, that event again, huh? This game does have a big problem in the fact that it doesn't have a lot of events that come up. By the 3rd time you've played through it, you have pretty much seen everything. I do think it needs a little bit more variability or an introductory mechanic, or a mechanic introduced to the game that ultimately mixes it up a bit. I was thinking they should play around with something like Loop Hero did, where rooms that are supposed to be neighboring each other. So if you notice, the temporal room and the portal room, they're the same shape and they're the same size. What if when you connected these two into a big tall tower, they turned into like a super room that hybridizes the two, and then like you could use the cards for either one to upgrade it, you know what I mean? Like it needs some other aspect added on in, because for right now, the replayability is decent, but it doesn't need the replayability to be okay. It needs the replayability to be really, really good, because replayability is the main focus of this game. Once the Dark Lord invades and this meter fills up, there's nothing else to do except restart the game with all the bonuses that you got from the previous run. And so they need to make kind of that restarting process pay off. In a way. And it does from the bonuses of your graduating students, but those don't feel super meaningful enough to keep you chugging for more than, I think I played through about 4 times before I was like, okay, I've seen everything, I've done everything, I'll wait for updates or whatever. But I do think mechanically the game needs like one more mechanic added to it, and I can't quite put my finger on what it is. That person is slow. Let's put you in general class. Throw them in Gen Pop. We need to start smoothing over our reputation with the orc tribes, so that's what I'm going to do. We've got a temporal room. Yeah, we'll upgrade our temporal room. That's fine. There we go. Our temporal room has been upgraded. We got a sleeper's scroll, or a sleeper's soul from this little thing over here. So maybe we'll be able to use that for something nice later on. Money needs to trickle up a little bit faster. I could still use 1 or 2 more general rooms. We're not really generating shadow magic yet either, and we haven't seen nature at all, and so that might be a bit of a problem as time goes along. We got a couple of choices here. We got a Pegasus. The Pegasus has a chance to upgrade the wealth of students that it comes into contact with. We have a medical bed. They recover health when they sleep in this bed, and they give gold to the school. We can also get a flower crown, which is useless to us, but if we had an herbalism room, if they got level 3 herbalism, level 1 sacred magic, they'll wear this crown while they walk around school and they can't get bored, which is pretty nice. I'm going to take the bed because we need cash. Alright, so our school is flowing pretty well. Hey, we've got, and intern just discovered a secret entrance that leads to the old archives of King Boktalon IV. We're scared to go in there. Maybe you could help us out. Legends say they contain invaluable documents and permits. So this is like a placeholder. The mechanic works. We can basically pay to explore a dungeon. Later on, the developers are planning where you can pick your best students to send into a dungeon, and they'll get wounded, or they'll die, or they'll succeed, or whatever else, and they bring back treasure. For right now, you pay the money, and it makes a dice roll and determines whether or not you get like a free book or like a free tome, which I haven't talked about yet, but we will bankroll an expedition because sometimes you get good stuff out of that. We have a brilliant child of nature, your general class. So anyways, the game's goal system. Every single map, you're going to have 3 goals. One of them is always going to be to produce a certain amount of mana. The other one is going to be a relationship with a faction almost every single time. And then the third one is usually you have to get an archmagus by the time the day ends. And what happens is each of these goals that you complete upgrades a tome that you get at the end of your run. So once the Dark Lord invades and your school is destroyed, you get a tome that gives you a permanent buff to like something. and the tome gets better and better and better depending on how many goals you completed on that run through. It's always good, but the legendary tomes are decidedly better than the rare tomes, which are decidedly better than the good tomes. And so you kind of want to complete 2 out of 3 of these bare minimum. On top of that, you get a curse each time you go on through that makes the game harder. And so that's kind of the progression system of the game. This is Spellcaster University. I hope you guys liked it. I've put about 10 hours into it before I kind of ran out of stuff to do as of right now, if you're wondering how much time I got out of the game in early access. They are still developing it though, and there still are placeholders and things for mechanics that they intend to put in, like the dungeons. And so we'll see how the game develops over time, but I do like the idea of the game a lot. I am a Harry Potter fan, and so I do think that it's a cool idea for a game. Like I said, my only complaint about it is that there's not enough variety in the events, and then also it still feels like one more supplementary mechanic to add more depth, like sort of like rooms having secret combos that you have to discover for yourself as you play the game by being adjacent or to the left or up and to the left of each other would be really, really cool, and I think it would like solidify the game a little bit better. Apparently the mages that went to the archives came back with a spell book. Nice! So there you go, we got a spell book. It'll make people better at gaining a specialization like Child of the Light, Child of Nature, while they're working inside of a room. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today it was Spellcaster University. Tomorrow it'll be something else. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping on in. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it.